One of the really cool things about Flash content is that it can scale up and scale down uniformly, unlike normal Windows application windows where the components are a set size. So you can really leverage some powerful applications that'll work at any screen resolution quite smoothly. Let's take a look at how we can do that right now. This is something we call the universal screen resolution trick. So we go into the gallery here and select a SWF. I'll select the Setup Factory SWF. I'm just going to go ahead and center it onto a stage that's the same size as a SWF, in this case 320 by 240, and that matches up with the aspect ratio of most people's screen resolution, 4 by 3. I'm going to right click on that and pin it in place. I'm just going to go in here and actually double check some of the settings, make sure the quality is set to high, scaling mode is set to show all. Maybe I'll turn off the context menu, and that's about it. Other than that, it's ready to go. The rest of this trick is going to be on the page properties area. So let's go to Page, Properties, and we'll go in the Actions area here on the On-Show event handler. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is get the end user's screen resolution. So we'll put that into a table by typing in display equals system, and then we're going to type in get display info. Okay? So this is going to give us the end user's screen display info, and it's going to put into a table where we can access the individual elements in our script. The next thing we need to do is set the size of our window. So we'll use a set size, window set size action, and that's going to match our window size to the user's screen resolution. Okay, so this takes 3 arguments. The second and third arguments here are going to be very easy because we just are basically going to reference our screen information table, which is the display width and the display height, okay, because we want to match those. The first bit here is going to be a little tricky to type, but it's very easy actually once you get used to using it, and it's the application get window handle, and that's just going to make sure that this action acts upon our active window. Okay, so we'll type that in there. So it's going to set our active window size, window set size, to the display width and the display height. So it's basically matching the end user screen resolution. Now we just need to move our window into position. So we'll use a window set position action. And in this particular case, we're just going to use the application get window handle again to refer to our active window. And then we're going to set it to 0, 0. Okay, so that's very simple. We've basically just sized up our window and we've set it to 0, 0. Now let's go ahead and address our Flash object. First thing we need to do is set the size of our Flash object. So we use a Flash set size action, and in this case we're going to refer to our Flash object, which is called Flash1, and then we're going to simply pass on the information from our display table, display width and display height, so we're matching our end user screen resolution again with the size of our Flash movie. Okay, that's pretty basic stuff. And now all we need to do is set the position of our Flash movie. Now this is a little bit trickier, but it's not that tricky. So we're going to use Flash set position, and what we need to do here is make a quick calculation. So first let's put in the name of our Flash object so we know what we're referring to, and we'll do our first calculation. Now basically what we're going to do is we're going to take the display width, and then we're going to subtract the width of our movie, which is 320. Now we're going to have to divide that all by 2, okay, so that we can get the offset value there, because don't forget the Flash object thinks that 0, 0 is where the original window was sitting. So we need to get the offset there, so we're going to go ahead and do that. Now what we need to do is, because this whole thing here is going to be I need to put in another bracket here, there we go. Because this whole thing is going to be an offset, we need to times that by a -1 to create a negative value. So we're offsetting where that window is sitting, right? Or where that Flash object is sitting, rather. So now we're going to do the exact same calculation again. This time we're going to apply it to the display height, and we're going to subtract, therefore, 240 instead of 320, since that's the height of our movie. Okay, and then I'm going to just put in our last bracket here. I'm going to put in another one, and there we go. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we've got here. We've got a display system get display info action, and that's going to go ahead and get the end user's display info into a table called display. Then we've got a couple actions to set the size and position of our window, and a couple more to set the size and position of our flash object. In the case of setting the position of the flash object, we've done a kind of a fancy little calculation here so that we can figure out the offset of where our original flash object was positioned in relation to where we want it to be positioned now. Okay? So let's go ahead and press OK and preview our project. Press F5 to preview. As you can see, our flash object automatically sized up to our window and positioned itself. There was a little flash there, but it was nothing major. And the flash object is still fully functional. Everything that's within the flash object is still working fine, and it's ready to go. So this little application that we've built together here, and I'll just close that down. We'll go into the page properties. This little application, which is only 5 actions long, so it's just a tiny application, and using a simple flash sample from the built-in gallery, is universal resolution. You can run this on any user system with a standard screen resolution, say anywhere from 640 by 480 right on up to the super high resolutions that some people are using nowadays, and it'll automatically size itself to the screen and position itself. So this is kind of a neat little trick that you guys can use in your projects, and I hope you like this. We'll go on to the next lesson now.